So this is how the review is going to work. I'm going to do short retrospective mini reviews on Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, the previous 3 Spider-Man movies. Then at the end, I'm going to do my review on the latest one, Brand New Day. So stay tuned and stick around. So I rewatched all the Spider-Man Home trilogy movies in preparation for the new movie. Here are my overall thoughts on what I still liked and new things I found during my binge that could have changed if these movies were done differently. Okay, this section is for Spider-Man Homecoming. This movie is still a solid watch, and what do I mean by that? Well, the story still holds up, it's still believable, and everything is pretty grounded compared to the rest of the MCU and the future movies that were being set up at the time. And this being the first MCU Spidey movie, let me explain why the cast plays all the characters as believable high schoolers, Peter isn't always constantly miserable or sad, and the stakes grow as the movie goes on. The jokes were still pretty funny, such as the bank heist scene with the identity theft ads with the fake Avenger robbers, and Peter getting flung around the room with the gravity gun. Otherwise, the parts I liked the most for this rewatch are the car interrogation scene where Vulture finally figures everything out that has happened in the movie is easily the best out of my 2 picks. Another thing I found to be really good overall is the fact everyone is acting still holds up, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, we know at the time everyone was like in their 20s, Tom, Zendaya, and Jacob, the actors, but they still portrayed it as realistically as possible. Now, the one thing I would change after all these years is that the tone of Spider-Man saying he constantly needs the high-tech suit halfway through the movie felt a bit annoying, even though I understand it's a part of his character arc, and that he needed to earn it and prove himself. But overall, I would give this movie a solid 4 out of 5 and a letter grade of A. Moving on to the second movie, Spider-Man Far From Home isn't really that good but compared to the first one, but there are some parts that I like that I consider still decent to this day. At least filming in different locations made it visually different from always staying during New York City during the entire runtime, and the final fight in London was something different overall that I think still is good to this day. The story itself was alright at best. It's not super strong like Homecoming, but has its good moments. A good part I would like to point out is not only the big mysterious snow globe illusion, but it's actually the final confrontation and the hallway fight on top of the London Bridge, with how everything goes pitch black and you just hear the scene get quiet and loud as Peter flings all the killer drones around the room. And now for the part I didn't like about the movie overall. I think Marvel trying to shoo in the other classmate students felt like someone saw the first movie and said, hey, this is pretty good, let's do it and make it annoying now because everyone liked the first time when we were all speaking realistically and acting like normal teenagers. And for the part of the movie I would honestly change around are these 2 things. Remove the whole class trip parts but keep the setting of a road trip where Peter and his friends go on their own but get intercepted by Nick Fury and Mysterio when he's acting like a good guy. And maybe with that edit it would have been a better movie overall. I would give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 and a B- letter grade. Now to the third one, No Way Home. And now we're at No Way Home. I made a funny short review in my script for this part. Here's what it says. Green Goblin makes fun of a depressed teenager and his friends. Also, the other 2 Spider-Men are there as well. But yes, let's address the obvious elephant man in the room. Marvel did bring back all the previous Spider-Man, but not for nostalgia bait or pandering. This time, it's not fully beaten over your head, since it actually fits the movie's plot. Because since its large cast has to juggle 3 different things. The Forget Peter spell, the returning Spider-Man and villains, and him trying to be normal again. The several things I would change in this movie are that Peter really didn't think at all to make a video recording compared to his own letter that we see in the next movie. And yes, I know others have the same thought as me, but it makes the most sense too. Another change I would have picked/done myself is have one more moment of the Spider Bros just getting along because they work so well together when we just get along as friends and the natural dialogue they had. I would give this movie a solid 4 out of 5 and a letter grade of A. And finally, here we are, Spider-Man's Brand New Day. And even though I haven't caught up with all the new MCU movies and its TV shows for The Punisher, I was still able to fully enjoy this movie in its entirety. And here's why. This is truly the best Spider-Man movie out of all of the MCU Spidey films, now beating out No Way Home and Homecoming as my overall top picks. The story is really solid and really feels standalone compared to all the previous ones, and I'll explain why. The cinematography was really good compared to all the previous movies, where it didn't feel like the camera had to be on lockdown and only move when it was an action scene or just something dramatic happening. The camera in this movie swings around, pans, shakes, regardless of the scene, action or not, and feels really dynamic, which is really cool. So we finally hit spoilers ahead. The big twist villain being Jean Grey is okay at best to me. I'll explain why. I'll be upfront, I have only some knowledge of X-Men, mostly from the Wolverine stuff and some of the movies, but I know that she's supposed to have the Phoenix Fire powers. Also, I thought telepathy was supposed to, you move stuff with your minds, like throwing cars, bricks, or other objects, not fully straight up possess somebody the way it's acted in this movie. I think her arc was okay overall in this movie. And for the things I liked in the movie and didn't like, here's what I noticed. The things I like are the action sequence, obviously. Each fight felt different overall. It felt very dynamic, like the Hulk fight and chase in the hallway when Peter's running for his life. And also the second fight I liked the most was mostly with the Ninja Clan. They said the Hand, was it? At the end of the movie, pretty was dynamic as he's, flinging them around, dodging their shots, jumping around, and slinging. And as for the things I didn't like the most, honestly, the big reveal of how MJ and Ned got their memories back, the letter reveal was better than Ned, I'll say that, because him doing a fist bump was kind of cheesy, while MJ's had all this build up and it was the main focal point of the movie for the big arc for her. And that's what just kind of clunky at best for either of them. So honestly, I would give this movie a 5 out of 5 and a letter grade of A+. It really is the shining gold nugget of all the Spider-Man movies compared to its predecessors of, No Way Home, Far From Home, and Homecoming. And so my letter grades would be this: A, B, A-, and then a solid A+ gold star. Okay, this is completely off script, but I gotta ask, come on, Sony. You have 2 of the 3 Spider-Verse movies currently out as of this recording. You introduced Miles or set him up in Homecoming. You kind of hinted it throughout all the other Spider-Verse movies. You have Donald Glover's Prowler and Spider-Verse 2. So are you guys going to do it? Are you going to finally make those live-action Spider-Verse movies that were rumored? Make it happen. He's a good character. He's very unique compared to Peter. Let it happen, please.